Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. On today's video, I want us to do a little bit of an update regarding a company called somewhere.com. If you remember correctly, we are in the middle of our little mini series called Breaking into the Recruitment Agencies, and in another episode we spoke about somewhere.com. And I was not satisfied with how I went about with my application process and everything regarding somewhere.com. So I decided that I'm gonna take a little bit of an initiative. Okay, so I'm gonna be looking this way at my emails so that I can read them for you. Okay, so be mindful of the dates. This is on the 16th of November. Okay, so I spoke to Ben. If you remember from the previous video, if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe go check the previous video that I'm talking about and come back to this one, because that video does explain that I've been speaking to Ben. He was my first point of contact when I was starting out with somewhere.com. Okay, so I went back to the beginning. Okay, so I spoke to Ben on the 16th of November 2025. I said, "Hi Ben, I hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out for some clarity regarding my profile on Somewhere. For context, I completed all the required steps last year, and in December you confirmed that my profile was complete and in the system. I had one interview, but since then I haven't been matched with any new opportunities. I noticed that Somewhere regularly posts new roles and I'm interested in applying. However, I'm unsure whether I should go through the full process again, especially since the typing test instructions say that once it's completed, I don't need to redo it." Okay, so I said, "Could you please advise me on how I should proceed if I want to be considered for the new roles? I'm still very much interested in opportunities through your platform, and I want to ensure that my profile is active and visible. Thank you so much for your time. Kind regards, ChatGPT." Okay, so this is on the 16th of November. Now tell me why on the 17th of November I get an email, literally the following day, I get an email from a lady called MK. She's like, "Hi Nora, I'm MK, a senior recruiter at Somewhere. I came across your profile from a pool and noticed that you might be a great fit for the virtual executive assistant role we are currently looking to fill for one of our clients. So for 11 or 12 months, you don't say anything to me, and on the day that I reach out to Ben, the following day, you see my profile. Was that a coincidence? What's up? You know what I mean?" But then anyway, yeah, so she's like, "Here are the details of the role. The job title is the virtual executive assistant, and the money." I was so excited about the money, you guys, because it says salary range 1,800 to 2,500 USD per month. Oh my gosh, I was like, what? So I replied and said yes, I was interested. And then she replied and said, "Congratulations on making it to the next step," and that is the interview. So I attended the interview. When was the date? Let me check on the 20th. So we spoke on the 19th. Okay, we spoke on the 17th, and then from 17th to the 20th we was just doing it back and forth about my CVs. She wanted me to send a recently updated CV, and I did that. So on the 20th we scheduled an interview with the client. Okay, so I did the interview with the client. I was so scared, and the thing with this position is that I had to support 2 executives. Okay, and it's for a senior role. And remember, what I do nowadays is that I make my CV match exactly what they want on the job description, so it looks like I'm the perfect fit. So when it comes to interview time, when you don't match exactly what you said there, so it becomes a problem. So I'm thinking that maybe other candidates were so much better than me. I'm not sure, because I got a rejection email on the, when is the date? Wait, let me zoom in a little bit, my eyes are not well, on the 3rd of December. Okay, so I remember when I was doing this this interview or this process with these people, it was right about Black Friday and what is that holiday? Thanksgiving. In America there was some celebrating Thanksgiving, and it was also the same week as Black Friday. And the company, since they sell things, they had to run a Black Friday special and stuff. So I had to, like, the waiting for hearing back was quite long. That is why I only got an email on the 3rd of December saying, thank you for taking the time to apply for the VA role. And while your skill set and qualifications are impressive, we regret to inform you that the client has decided not to move forward with your application. Ooh, in the gut. But I was like, okay, so my profile is visible, there's nothing wrong with my profile, and you can actually get multiple interviews on somewhere.com. Remember the previous video I said once you get one interview, that's it, you're done for. They don't match you anymore, they just forget about your profile. So as I was still processing my rejection, I get, what is this? I get an email from another person from somewhere.com. His name is Andres. I hope I'm saying it right. I said Andres. Yes, Andres. He says, hi Nora, I hope you're doing well. I came across your profile and I believe you'd be a great fit for the following remote position that I'm currently hiring for, which is the executive operations assistant. Ooh, I thought, okay, yes, I'm interested. And this is on the 9th of November. Remember, I got the other rejection on the 3rd of December. And did I say November? I meant December. The rejection on the 3rd of December, and this email came on the 9th. So I said, yes, I'm interested. And then we spoke for a little, and we decided to have a screening call with this man on the 12th of December. So on the 9th, he said, am I interested? I said I am. And then he needed me to send in my introduction video, which I did. And then on the 12th, we had a screening call. On the screening call, we just spoke for like 15 minutes, and just to make sure that I understand the processes of somewhere. And I told him that I actually had an interview with one of your people literally a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately I didn't get the job. So he was like, very good, that means you understand the process. So he booked me for a call with the client, and this call took place on the 26th of December. Ask me what happened. Ask me what happened. Telcom when I catch you. So my internet connection decided not to work. We spoke for 4 minutes with that man, and the connection just said no, it didn't want to connect anymore. And the Wi-Fi at my place is very low. It's literally 2 megabits per second, and it's just not enough. So I usually use Telcom router, which is usually helpful, but when it comes to interviews, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, I just feel like this has some connection to some spiritual things. Sorry, but it didn't want to connect. I was so disappointed, but this happened on the 26th of December, so I just decided I'm going to forget about this. I'm just going to focus on ending the year, celebrating New Year's, and just being myself. Okay, fine. Now, ask me why on the... I got an email from these people. On the 8th of January, I get an email from the same guy, Andres. He's like, hi Nora, I hope this email finds you well. I'm pleased to inform you that Matthew is the name of the client. I'm just gonna say Matthew alone because with somewhere they withhold the people's names and their companies, because I think they don't want you to go ahead and approach their clients directly. That's why they just hold off on their information, which I'm going to do the same. So he says Matthew is interested in moving forward with your application process, and he would like you to complete a paid trial assignment as the final step in your application process based on your availability. I thought, what? What do you mean? We didn't even talk that day. What do you mean he wants to move forward with me? What? I was so stoked. I thought, what the hell? But I was so excited as well because I thought, wow, miracles do happen, okay? Because his money was actually not bad as well. It was actually a lot of money for this position. I think it was around about the same, 1,800. Yeah, so the monies are nice. I don't want to lie. So before doing the assignment, they tell me, before you do the assignment, let's have an interview with this Matthew guy, since you didn't have it last year. I was stressed. I was thinking this internet connection is going to disappoint me again. Guess what? It did. It disappointed me. So we spoke a little and it just started glitching, and I could hear him say, is this the internet connection that you use regularly, or do you have something else? I couldn't even respond to him because it was so bad. So Telkom, when I catch you, I'm losing opportunities because of you. So, and also right now I'm in the villages, so it's not like I'm gonna get like a fiber connection or anything. So it's really a stressful thing because I've tried MTN, I've tried Telkom, there's this Wi-Fi which is very slow. Like, I've tried a bunch of things, but seems like this is a real issue for me. Okay, so Matthew never got back to me, Andres never got back to me, everybody just kept quiet. So I just assumed that that was a clear rejection, which was so sad because, you know, a rejection from being judged fairly is so much better than just being rejected because of the internet. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a little bit about Somewhere. So I don't know if you should contact Ben if your profile is stuck, because I spoke to Ben and I contacted him and there was some sort of movement. But since this whole process, I haven't been having anything with Somewhere. But I do get some emails from people saying, hey, send your introduction video, hey, do this, do that. But most of the other things that came after this whole process is like, the client decided to hold off on the process, so we're gonna wait a bit. You know, there's nothing really tangible to show. But that is the little bit of an update when it comes to this thing. And I want to give a little bit of a shout out to a lady who contacted me on my Instagram. She was asking about some remote work stuff, and she said something like, I can't wait to see your YouTube video or something like that. And that just removed me from the gutter, because have you seen my channel? I'm all about negativity, getting knocked, and just all of that. So it gets to a point, like, it was starting to get to me. I had told myself that I'm only gonna make a video when there is something positive to show. Okay, but then again, I thought it's not always going to be positive, and it's important also to show the no's, the negatives, you know. So yeah, thank you, girl. Shout out to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.